Welcome back, Nathan, to the Tradewaiters podcast.
Thank you.
Comic book club where we read a different trade paperback every single week, not day. I'm Daniel. You're Nathan. We're brothers. We read comics.
Yes, we are. You're married now.
At the time of this recording,
You're not.
I'm not. But when this comes out, I will be. Yeah, this is plenty of time.
Yeah.
I could pull a Ted Mosby and be left on the altar or something, which would be hilarious.
That would be crazy.
It'd be actually so funny because then I'd be like, well, the bar's open. We have it till 11.
Yeah.
So,
well, if anything, it's the ideal scenario.
Yeah, I'd be like, there's bags over there, bags tourney right now.
Anybody single?
If you want to leave, that's totally cool.
Yeah.
It's paid for. There's really no backing out at this point. So,
yeah.
And then I'm eating, I'm like, Sarah, love this one.
Sarah loves these vegetables.
And it'd be funny because anyone who tried to talk to me, I'd be like, what could you think you could possibly say to me right now?
And then you could just be so bitter and people just understand.
Oh, you're sorry?
You could feel like, go away. Or you could be like, I never liked you and be honest.
Yeah,
and then people would think that you're just in a bad mood.
Be like, I don't even know who you are, dude.
Why are you even here?
Or I walk into conversations, be like, dodge a bullet with that one, huh? Mm-hmm. Be like, it's all good. The parents took care of it, so.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's
there's a bright side to everything.
Fingers crossed for that.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I don't know if I told you this, but a couple of months ago, Sarah's mom texted her and she asked me what my favorite Avengers were, basically a boy and a girl or whatever.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay. I said Hawkeye and Black Widow because on the spot that was the first thing that I thought because I really like those comics.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, it's probably in some trivia thing for the bridal shower or whatever. And then she comes home from her bridal shower and her mom got 2 Party City costumes of Ronin and Black Widow.
Oh, Ronin Hawkeye.
Ronin Hawkeye. I'm like, this is such a deep cut, and I don't think she knew.
Oh, David Finch one.
Yeah, it's got the fucking mask and shit. I'm like, this is honestly cooler than Hawkeye. I need a sword now. Yeah.
That's sick.
And it's for role playing. That's what her purpose was for buying that. Yeah.
So you need to be in the rain with a katana.
Yeah.
And you gotta clear off the sword like this, where he puts the sword on the fold of his arm or whatever.
Be like, don't give me hope.
Yeah, you got the hair for it, so you're good.
Perfect. Yeah, I tried. I always wanted to do when I saw that, I'm like, maybe I could do the little mohawk thing.
Dog can do a little mohawk.
Mohawk would be so sick.
That's funny.
I'm and that kind of makes sense because those two characters have a little bit of sexual tension.
Just a little thing there.
They always talk about their time in Budapest or whatever.
What happened in Budapest?
Yeah, that's what we're going for the honeymoon. We're going to Budapest.
Yeah. It would have been really funny if she got you the comic book accurate Hawkeye though, where it's just with the wings on the eyes.
Oh, that'd be even cooler.
Yeah, I think it would be pretty sick.
It's bright as purple.
Even though Ronin's deep cut.
Yeah.
And maybe it's not anymore because he was in Endgame, the biggest movie of all time. But
right.
Still kind of feels like a deep cut.
It'll have the bell-bottom pants or whatever.
So you have one now?
Yes, I have a Ronin costume. And I'm we're not getting rid of this.
We should read that Avengers run where...
Absolutely.
Yeah, where he gets introduced and you could just wear it and I'll just be nothing.
You can be Black Widow.
I could be Captain America or something. Okay. Oh yeah, I could be Black Widow.
And Sarah's all upset. She's like, well, now we got to do this for Halloween. It was my year to pick. I'm like, sorry. Maybe you get the next 2 years.
Divorce me.
What's gonna do about it? We're not just gonna let him sit here for 2 years.
Yeah.
But anyway, Nathan, we have segments in the description. You can jump around, go to the news. You can go to the book. Back Matter Matters, and then we got the poll list. But we start with the news. Nathan, Stephen Yeun cast in the Thunderbolts in a secret role.
So it's confirmed that he's casted, but not what he is.
Correct.
And people are just saying Sentry.
Yeah, that's possible.
Okay.
He seems like he displays emotion really well. So the rage and sadness and stuff like that, he could probably pull off.
Yeah.
I hope he grows out his hair. That'd be sick.
That would be pretty cool.
I wonder if they'll dye it. They wouldn't dye it blonde. They just have it black, right?
He might be blonde.
Maybe.
I feel like it'd be really hard for some reason to pull off Sentry without him being blonde. And I don't know why I think that,
I read like one Sentry run, the Jeff Lemire one.
I've read zeros Sentry runs.
That was 5 issues, and he still doesn't mean that much to me. So he could be whatever hair color he wants.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fair. There's a Bishop solo series coming in.
A Bishop solo
It's
series.
called Bishop War College from Jay Holtum and artist Sean Damian Hill,
Okay.
which is pretty cool. There's like an inside look, but apparently the writer Jay Holtum is like the TV writer of Cloak and Dagger. So that's pretty cool.
Oh, okay. Is that still going or?
No,
Okay.
surely not.
I'm like,
But-
it would be on like season 8 right
I
now.
mean, at some point. But yeah, I think that's funny because we were like talking about Bishop for some reason over the weekend because we were like, B tier or C tier X-Men that we thought were really cool. And I was like, Bishop's got pretty cool. He's got a gun. He's got a big M on his face.
Big old gun.
Yeah. So that's pretty fun.
Nathan, speaking of new comics, DC Night Terrors is a book coming this July, written by Josh Williamson. It's like the Trinity, and they're like solving a murder or something, like a haunted house or something like that.
Oh, cool.
Someone else told me that news, so that I wrote down like what I could remember.
Okay.
So
I think I did see that like article or something, and I was like, oh, I should look into this. And then I had to go do something else, and I couldn't find it. Do you ever like look at something on Twitter and then it like refreshes?
I fucking hate that. They do that on Instagram too.
It's literally the most annoying thing.
Because you see something like, oh, I'm interested in that, and then whoop,
yeah, it just like refreshes, and I'm like, I did not command you to do this.
and you have to scroll for like 2 days to get back to
And
it.
it's been like that for years. Fix it. Keep the thing on the screen because I want to interact with your app more.
Unless it's something I've seen before, like, but surely no one likes it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's dumb.
It is.
Apparently, Netflix just picked up a DC show called Dead Boy Detectives.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Wait, Netflix did?
Yes.
Okay, so did you get to the part of Doom Patrol where there was like a ghost and like there was 2 kids that were like ghosts and only like one person could see them? I think it was Amy or
In the show? No.
or it was Jane. Jane could see them, I think.
Okay.
And so they were just, I can't remember what they did, but I was like, oh, there's some interesting characters. And then Pornsak Pashot, he did like, I think he's currently going to be doing like a Sandman spin-off book that is the Dead Boy Detectives, which I guess is where they're from.
Yeah. It's originally a comic by Neil Gaiman and Matt Wagner.
Okay, originally, okay.
Yeah.
So that works because
it's a
they
Vertigo.
have Sandman. Yeah.
It seems like Netflix is grabbing Vertigo stuff.
Sick, dude. I'm about it.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool.
And then what Vertigo thing should Netflix pick up?
They
other
should
than
pick
this?
up Scalped.
Scalped?
Yeah, by Jason Aaron. I think that'd be a really cool book.
Okay.
Or a really cool adaptation. What do you think?
What are Vertigo things?
There's not that many that I can name off the top of my head that are really good,
Like, I
There's-
didn't like
well, there's,
Transmetropolitan. There's already Preacher.
There's like Sheriff of Babylon, sorry. That's what it originally called.
Vertigo books.
There's like Joe the Barbarian, 100 Bullets.
100 Bullets would be a good show.
Yeah, I think Scalped would be good.
100 Bullets is my answer.
Okay, Scalped is mine. What's the Human Target was originally by Peter Milligan and Javier Pulido. Do you remember Javier Pulido? She-Hulk?
Oh.
That might be really good.
I'd read that.
Yeah, we should.
You'd read that Human Target before Tom King's Human Target?
I haven't even finished that one yet. Also, it's not collected in all one big thing.
Speaking of big collections and all one big thing, Nathan. Where did I put that?
This dick.
No. So they're, what is it? Boom Studios is putting out a deluxe version of The Many Deaths of Lila Starr.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So
Good book.
good book. I'm like, that's exactly what I need. Because I saw the trade and it's so fucking small because it's like not very long. So
Yeah.
extra back matter. I don't remember. There was like some variants, but extra back matter I would eat up.
Also, I would buy that book in print. That's how good it is, you know?
Yeah.
That's like, there's very few books that I'll read digitally and be like, all right, that's fine. And like, you know, and then there's the S tier books that are like, I read it online and I'm like, I need to have this on my shelf so that hopefully one day someone will walk into my office and be like, is this any good? And I'll be like, yes, borrow it.
Absolutely.
Please. You need to read it so that I can talk to you about it.
And then they don't read it for like eight months and then give it back.
Yeah, they steal it from you. That I was that guy for a little bit because Parker lent me like a Batman that was by like Kelly Jones.
I still have books from you that I have not read.
Like what?
Green Lantern Earth One.
Oh, we should do that.
I get to keep it.
No.
I get to read it physically.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. Also, speaking of deluxe things, by things we like,
Good, nice.
The entirety of the Gerard Way Doom Patrol will be collected in one deluxe. So it'll be I think 12 issues of his Doom Patrol, and then there's 7 issues of like Doom Patrol Weight of the Worlds. That'll all be collected in one.
Is that all Nick Darrington? Or was that
I think
other people?
It changed.
Was it Doc? Am I crazy thinking it was Doc?
The cover of Weight of the Worlds looked like...
Maybe he just did covers. I know that he was part of it in some form or fashion.
He probably did some covers.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm like, that also seems like a cool thing. Both those came out today.
Oh, very neat.
So you can get them at your local comic shop.
Local news, Daniel.
Nathan, speaking of Gerard Way.
Okay.
There's a casting for season 4 of Umbrella Academy, and it is Nick Offerman.
Perfect.
Can't wait.
Whoever he is, whatever he is, perfect.
Gotta catch up and be ready.
I'm still on that Last of Us high from his performance. So I'm like, whatever he is, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Do you think he'll still be like the same like character? Because he's kind of been like the same in all of his big things. Just because it seems like that's who he is genuinely. He's like,
I feel like
guy that fixes things or is very resourceful.
Yeah, or is like a prepper.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Surely there's been something where he's like
been like wackier or something. I mean, maybe like wasn't he in like We're the Millers or some shit? There's some like comedy movies, but I think he still kind of feels like Ron. You know.
There was something where I'm like, oh, he's actually acting different. But I can't remember.
Oh, he's actually acting.
Yeah. He's not just being Nick Offerman.
Yeah.
What else you got?
Atomic Comics is changing their name. This is local news.
Really? To what? That's such a good name. It rhymes.
It is a good name, and I do not like their new name.
Let's hear it.
It's Strange Adventures Comics and Collectibles. Like in small text, it's like Comics and Collectibles. So it feels like the book.
That's just stealing from the book.
It's just a bad name. Because
did you ask why?
I don't know the owner of Atomic Comics.
Did you ask someone who works there? Because surely they know.
Maybe. I'll have to ask.
Did you go today?
Yeah. I'm like homies with the guy that like manages that store, I think. Not like homies, but he knows me and he knows that I can talk about like comics.
Yeah, no, you're homies.
Yeah. So maybe I should ask him.
Did they have a neon sign or something that said like Atomic Comics at first?
That's still out there right now, but they just put like a paper up on the door and it's like, we're changing our name. This is what it is.
Okay.
So it hasn't happened like yet, or maybe it has happened officially, but I don't know. I just thought that was interesting.
Maybe we can.
I think Atomic Comics is such a much better name, but I think they're becoming a comic book store in the sense that they're actually going to start selling more toys or something. So
okay, so it's like a Barnes and Noble.
Yeah, they're kind of doing a Barnes and Noble where they're selling more shit that's not books.
Yeah,
or maybe they're trying to brand themselves that way so that people can come in.
It's like they're becoming a Zia Records. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like there are comics.
I think all the novelty sort of forms of entertainment stores will eventually just start selling pops, and then you're just on a downward spiral.
Yeah.
Because
as far as how toys, much we like it, you know?
You're like, toys are
that's got to keep them afloat,
money
though, you know? That's like their bottom line, you know?
Well, yeah, exactly. Which I don't knock them for it, but it's like, they're like, oh, toys make money. We should have more toys, more statues. And then it's like, oh, board games or whatever, you know?
Comics are like intimidating to like get into.
Yeah,
so
100%.
You can go in there and like at least grab a toy, you know? And they have a pretty solid selection of toys, I would say.
Mm-hmm. I think every comic shop needs like a really big and really obvious for dumb people, like a new reader section. Like start here and you don't need to know anything.
Isn't there one there? Or no, there's young readers.
There's young readers, which I also think is really, really good thing that they do. It's like a fixture that's like as soon as you walk in, it's like, here's some shit for young readers.
Because I'm a guy who doesn't like being helped. Like, even if they ask me, like, I don't need help.
And
Even
then
though,
but I do.
Even though I'm screaming on the inside.
I'm like so
You're like,
confused.
"Help! I don't know. Oh, speaking of comic stores not selling comics, we went to Vegas last weekend. We went to a specific casino that had a manga store.
A manga store is what it's called.
It's called Vegas Manga. And we go in there, not a lick of manga anywhere.
They know their market.
They didn't have one book in there.
Not a single manga.
It was so many toys, so many statues, pops, you name it. They had it except for manga.
Which is crazy.
They should have called it Vegas Anime because that would be much better.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they had a bunch of plushies.
And I was furious. I don't know what it is about like drinking, but it made me want to make bad decisions, you know? But more specifically, financially bad decisions. You know, like
So
I would
you-
buy an irresponsible amount of comics if
I see.
if I was at a comic store.
I thought you were mad because there wasn't any manga, and then you wanted to make bad financial decisions. You're like, what the fuck? There's no manga. I'm gonna bet it all on black right now.
it turned into rage, and then
Okay.
that happened.
Okay, yeah. So, but what you're saying is that you wanted to make a bad financial decision, like buying the entirety of like Mob Psycho or something.
Yeah, which I would not do. I'd buy like one maybe.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway,
But yeah, I was a little annoyed by that too, for you.
yeah.
But I wouldn't buy a backwards book. I'm just kidding. They're fine.
Nathan, new book from Robert Kirkman and Lorenzo De Felici.
What?
Yes,
He's off Chroma?
he's off or finished Chroma. That's got to be like a 5-issue book.
Seems like it could go for a little bit.
Are you current?
Yeah.
It seems like it's set up for more.
I don't know.
Well, it's called Void.
Cool.
Don't know what it's about. I didn't look into it that much. I just wrote it down.
I'm there day one
Day one.
from just Lorenzo.
Because you
himself.
love Robert Kirkman.
I love Lorenzo.
He's your favorite writer.
Robert Kirkman's also pretty good.
You love all of his shows that are adapted.
He typically doesn't miss.
Yeah.
I think I do love all of his shows that have been adapted, right? Walking Dead is good.
Pretty good.
Invincible, good or great.
Did you watch Outcast? That
No.
was on Showtime
You liked it?
or Cinemax. First season was really solid, and then something weird happened to where like you just couldn't find season 2. Like, it wasn't streaming anywhere. I don't know.
Is that everything?
It might have been on Fox for a second, but I don't know.
Did Cyberdog ever get a show made or whatever it's called?
Cyberdog? You mean Science Dog?
Science Dog. Thank you. Wait,
Or-
aren't they actually getting an animated
Or
thing?
Tech Jacket?
That just is Invincible. isn't
Or
it?
Super Dinosaur?
That would be sick.
Or fucking
Die.
Wolfman or something? What was that one?
Wolfman, yeah.
The Astonishing Wolfman? But anyway.
Bad tangent.
Dude, Sarah has been watching The Walking Dead, and she started like last Sunday, and then to this Sunday, she got to like the Negan stuff,
Oh wow.
which is like season 7.
It took me 6 years
Yeah,
to
I
get
know.
there
It
because
took-
I was watching it. But
And I'm like, this is unhealthy. Like,
that is an
how much water have you drank today?
ungodly.
You haven't drank ounces of water in episodes that you've watched today. Like, you are going
Yeah.
to die on this couch.
That's crazy. How often are you like, this is a comic? You know?
She actually asked questions about it,
Oh, okay.
which is fun for me.
That's
She's
good.
like, when was this in the comics? Or like, did that happen in the comics? And I'll like drop things like that and whatnot.
I think Sophie was doing that for me with Invincible, which we haven't like finished. We're not even very far. But I think it's really funny because she sees like the Guardians of the Globe and she's like, oh my God, they're ripping off the Justice League. Like,
Can you believe this?
like we tried to not like,
Are you seeing this
as if
right
they
now?
tried to get away with it, you know? And she
Yeah.
didn't realize that it was like satire or
can't
like
get away with this.
Yeah. And she did that with the boys too. And she's like, okay, that's supposed to be Superman. And I'm like, yes.
That's what everyone thinks. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So that's always funny. Daniel, let's get into the book that we read this week. And this week we read Shazam.
Yep. By Jeff Smith, creator of the best-selling Bone.
Yes.
This is called Shazam, the Monster Society of Evil.
Yes. Colored by Steve Hamaker, which is pretty good. Dan, what do you think of this book?
Some good stuff. It was a good call.
I love me some Jeff Smith.
Yeah, it's got that Jeff Smith's charm to it, you know, which
Yeah.
is really cool.
He really knows how to like make a comic book, you know?
Sure does.
And I say that like he's very good at like cartooning, and he does like he's really strong at lettering, I would say as well.
Sure.
Does he hand letter?
It looks like it, like, because it looks like letters out of like bone,
or at least for like when people are like screaming or like making like a big. If he has to like write or type or whatever, make letters that are bigger than normal, it seems like he's like sketching that in, which I think is really cool.
Like the onomatopoeia or whatever.
Yeah, not onomatopoeia, but like when people are like yelling or something, and you can kind of see that there's like pen strokes or some shit in there. But he's like really good at like all of the traditional comic book stuff and like pacing and quiet panels and all that shit. So big fan of Jeff Smith.
Definitely.
I do think that this had a lot to wrap up at the end, and so there was a lot to just cover.
Yeah, it did seem like that one was a little fast paced.
And so there was like a lot that happened that just didn't make sense, but I think it was for the sense of just wrapping it up.
Yeah, it had some really good like flow to it, I thought.
Definitely.
Like, overall. I didn't know that he's ever done any Big Two stuff.
Yeah.
So this is kind of surprising when you told me about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, some good stuff.
Yeah. This is a version of the character that like Captain Marvel is like a different person entirely than Billy Batson.
That was interesting. I don't know if that was like a take of his or if that's how it used to be or something.
That's how it used to be originally. Like,
really? Okay.
Original conception of him in like Sensation, wherever he was like originally made in, because it wasn't DC, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, wasn't it like Anderson Comics or something?
It was like Sensational Comics or some shit like that, but it was like whenever Billy Batson turns into Shazam, that's like and just a different guy.
When he turns into the Captain, Nathan.
The Captain. Yeah, sorry. The hip new name for this character.
Yeah.
That's going to stick. Yeah, so just be like a different guy. And I think Billy's like still in there just like witnessing everything that's happening. And then he turns back and he's just Billy again.
Yeah, he just like takes the wheel.
I understand like both versions and I'm cool with like whatever, with whatever versions. Because there's that one that I think everybody knows where it's just a kid in big god body.
Yeah.
Which I think is more fun more often, but can get a little annoying maybe.
Yeah, I kind of like that there was a bit of a kind of a safeguard when he actually said Shazam.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, everything's gonna be fine now.
Yeah, like this is a guy that knows what he's doing, you know?
Yeah, he's got the wisdom of somebody.
Yeah. So, but I can understand why they wouldn't do this for like the movies. Because it feels like two different characters, and I feel
then
like
it'd just be the Zachary Levi show kind of thing.
And then I don't really feel like I know that much about Captain Marvel, like what his deal is. Is he pissed that like he has to like merge with like some kid? You know,
I don't think so. He seems like it's almost like his duty kind of thing.
Yeah,
or just to merge with like anyone who's like worthy or who's pure-hearted, whatever they call it.
Yeah. So anyway, let's get into it. So Billy Batson's like a homeless kid. He's also an orphan.
Did you decipher any of these like code things?
Oh yeah, I did. Every single one.
I got this first one wrong. I'm like, oh, Bali has a secret. I'm like, who the fuck is Bali?
I guess we'll find out who Bali is. Yeah.
Yeah. It was a little annoying.
There's Monster Society code, which is not very good code. It's just every letter in the alphabet in order, and then those letters correspond to the letters of the alphabet in reverse alphabetical order.
Mm-hmm. So A means Z and Z means A,
which is not a very hard code if you're trying to like be a secret.
I didn't pick up on that until like the third issue.
You had to go back.
Yeah, like, oh, it's that fucking easy.
Oh, I immediately like figured it out, and I was like, okay.
I'm like, they scrambled them.
Wonder what this means.
Yeah,
but I thought that was kind of fun because it's like, oh, if you want to put in the effort to know what this chapter is called, you know,
it's got his little bit of his scholastic charm.
Yeah,
thrown in
exactly. He's definitely a scholastic guy. You can kind of feel that in here.
Yeah,
but Billy Batson's a homeless orphan child in an abandoned like building, and he's getting beat up by this other homeless guy for money, and it's like, okay. And one day after hanging out with Billy's friend Talkie.
Yeah, he's got like a bum friend.
Yeah, he's got a bum friend. He's super old. He seems like one of those just like nice old guys that are just like, I don't know, pretty chill, content with the world or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's talking with him, and then he sees his dad, and he's like, what the heck, it's dad? And it's like a dark, shadowy figure. It's like walking away, and so he chases after him.
It's a creepy ass dad.
They go into like a train, a magic train, clearly, because it's very cool.
A Shazam train, Nathan.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's got the
Thunderbolt.
Shazam. I know. I was trying to figure it out in my head either, and I don't think you could either. But,
fucking nailed it.
And that takes him to a weird wizard who never says his name, by the way. And
he's just the wizard.
And he decides that Billy has good vibes because he like touches him, And it's like the little shock that you get when like you rub your feet on carpet and you touch someone. That's essentially what they did. And he's like, you know what? You have good vibes. And so he chooses Billy as his replacement to don the powers of Shazam.
I like how Jeff Smith draws kids.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Like, that was my first note. I was like, he fucking nails it.
They look like they're like 4 years old, but he's obviously like a little bit older than that, like maybe 9 or something.
I love all the panels when they're like running because it looks like a kid running.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have long enough limbs to do that, and like you're not very stable, so you could just fall over at any time.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
I like how Billy thought that the wizard was God.
Yeah. I would have too. That looks like God.
He's like, "Are you God?" He's like, "No."
Like, no, I'm just a wizard. Thank you though. Did you know what Shazam stood for? Did you know that it was like an acronym?
No, I might have.
Before this?
I might have.
Oh, okay.
What is it again?
It's Solomon for wisdom, Hercules for strength. I wrote all these down. I'm not memorizing them. Atlas for stamina, Zeus for power, Achilles for courage, and Mercury for speed.
Which one is, I don't know, being smart? Is there any of those?
Solomon. The first one, yeah. So Solomon, Hercules, Atlas, Zeus, Achilles, Mercury.
They definitely had to have picked Shazam first and then just filled in the blanks, with like gods.
Maybe they were just like, we can make this work. Or maybe they saw that there was like a Z in the name. They're like, that's like Zeus.
Yeah.
We got to figure out the rest.
What's a Z word?
Because like, is Atlas really known for stamina?
Yeah, because Atlas like holds the world on his shoulders.
Okay, never mind. Is Achilles really known for courage?
I just know the heel.
Not familiar with the god.
Yeah.
Just the body part.
Nathan, can you name the fucking deadly sins by memory?
Greed. There's like
Yep, you got one.
There's like one that's like injustice.
Yep.
Bad vibes.
Hatred?
Hatred, exactly.
Actually, I think maybe injustice would be bad vibes.
No, I can't name all them.
Well, we got pride, envy, greed, hatred, selfishness, laziness, and injustice. I think laziness is gluttony.
Yeah, that's got to be right.
They like make like new words for this. I know pride, envy, I think greed, but they make like kind of because this is definitely like kind of a YA kind of book
for sure.
Or it could be at like your elementary school book fair.
Yeah,
and so they had like definitely just normal words.
Yeah,
but
so after he gets the powers of Shazam, the wizard like kills himself by dropping a huge like block of cement that was suspended over him onto himself, and it like perfectly fits inside of the throne. It like perfectly slides in.
I feel
which is insane, right?
Yeah,
because it's like it's hanging.
That shit was hanging by like a fucking thread.
Yeah, it could have fallen prematurely before he like was able to gauge Billy's vibes, or like tell him what's going on.
I am not God. I am just a.
Also, yeah. Also, I don't feel like it's needed because he's here as a wizard for the rest of the book. He could just be alive.
Yeah, the thing just lifts, I guess, later. I don't know.
No,
his ghost
comes out, and he's just here as a character for the rest of the book.
He probably hang out for a couple days.
He just fucking dies to a ginormous cement block like it's a fucking cartoon.
Yeah,
but I was like, what the fuck just happened? Like when I was reading it, is crazy.
It's odd that someone would commit suicide and
he's like, all right, I gave you powers and peace out, But anyway, Billy turns into Shazam to stop getting beat up by that guy that's beating him up for money, and he rewards Captain Marvel with hot dogs.
Yeah,
which is great. He's like, I love this shit. It's Captain Marvel.
It's funny because Billy gives a hot dog guy money and then turns into Shazam, beats up the guy, is like, the hot dog's for me.
Yeah, which is crazy. And then Billy's brought back to the Rock of Eternity to talk to like the wizard's ghost. And then he like lays out some ground rules. Like you can't use magic inside of a magic thing or else it'll just like fucking the universe will explode. And then Billy tries to climb beyond the Rock of Eternity, which is big no-no because it's like other dimensions. And when he does that anyway, he like wakes up back at home and there's like alligators that are like doing crimes.
Yeah.
I really enjoy the scene where they're talking to the wizard because Billy's like catching so many strays here because Captain Marvel's like, this dude has no home. He's got no family, no friends, no bitches. why is he the one kind
Yeah.
of deal? And I was like, damn, he's like right there.
Yeah.
You barely know this kid also, by the way.
Just roasting him
Yeah.
in heaven or wherever you are.
Yeah.
I really love when Captain Marvel has like the shoulder cape thing.
Yeah.
Like this is a really great panel of that.
That goes fucking hard.
I'm like, hell yeah, dude. Fuck that other one.
Yeah. Fuck the normal cape.
Like, don't be Superman, you know?
I want like a double layered cape like this guy has.
Yeah, it's just a little flap.
Yeah. It looks like a bib that went like the wind caught it.
Yeah.
Also, I like how alligators become like more sentient and like learn English and shit. And then they decide to just put on clothes.
Yeah, but I got to cover up.
Yeah. Like I think what it ends up being is that they're people that turn into animals or something. But at the beginning, I'm like, are these alligators that put on like a suit, and like a hat? But yeah, they're just like robbing people. And I'm like, why do you need money? What are you going to do with that money?
I don't know what an alligator eats.
So anyway, that's chapter 1.
Real quick. So I guess the Rock of Eternity is where the Wizard is at. And that's like at the Big Bang. Like where that is. I'm like, okay.
They just fly there. Yeah.
They just go there, go to the Big Bang, whatever.
Yep. And Billy's just hanging on to like his shoulder.
Yeah.
As they fly there.
Not
He's
even
like,
holding them or anything.
Yeah. He's like, hang on.
And the wizard like reveals that Billy's got like a sister.
Yeah.
That's something we didn't know and I didn't know.
Yeah.
But keeps happening, or what Jeff Smith does a lot is like draw Shazam with this like odd posture. Have you noticed that?
Yeah. He like stands like he's going to jump in a pool and do the pencil.
Yep.
Yeah. Which is a little strange.
I think the coloring in this really like is just super well done and really kind of makes this book, it's kick-ass and works with Jeff Smith's artwork.
It's very appealing.
I don't know if it's the same dude who does Bone because it has that kind of same feel.
Yeah.
But I just like with lighting and stuff like that, I'm like, this is so good.
Yeah. It's like simplistic, but it's not like, it's not like Captain Marvel's red parts of his suit are all red. There's like highlights and stuff there.
Like this panel's sick.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, that's awesome.
He's really good at big action, the colorist.
Yeah.
Yeah, it helps all that more. So chapter 2, Billy finds out, or he like found out that he had a sister and he wants to go find her. And then we meet Dr. Savannah, who's like attorney general and also controls the military. And then Billy tries to like get a job at the circus because he's like, I need money. So
I see why Mark Strong got that role. He looks just like him.
Yeah, Savannah's like this super small dude in a ginormous head. And so
yeah,
it's a very particular representation of this character.
Right.
But yeah, Billy's like, I guess I should go like the circus or something. I don't know. But he's starting
Which is a pretty good idea.
Yeah. If you're an orphan, it's like, yeah, just go with these people.
That's what I do.
And it's like the military, but fun.
For kids.
For kids, yeah. Yeah.
I feel like, I don't know how the circus works, but that seems to be like a trope.
That people like, if they don't know what to
join
do,
the circus. Yeah.
I'll go juggle some shit. I don't know.
I'm like, I don't know if they have tryouts from town to town, and isn't there like more of a season for the fair or the circus or whatever?
Yeah.
And you got to be pretty fucking good at some shit.
Yeah.
Like acrobatics and whatnot.
It's got to be like something either very impressive, like physically like acrobatics, or like you're just really good at like balancing pickles on your forehead or some shit.
Like, is he ready to swallow swords? I don't think so.
He doesn't seem like it. Because if he goes there and they're like, what do you do? And he's like, oh shit, I don't really know.
Yeah.
But he's getting chased down by like some muggers. He goes into the circus. He's like, the circus. And he's like, oh shit, my sister's here. And then also alligators are eating people there. And so he like Shazams and he stops the animals. But he's like, oh fuck, where'd my sister go? And I like this move where the alligators like try to eat some kids, but Captain Marvel like puts his head inside of the mouth further so that they don't close on the kids.
He does that a couple times.
Which is really funny to me because he's like, oh shit, they're about to eat those kids. He doesn't put his hand in there or anything.
Yeah.
He just like puts his head in there, which I think is
my hands are full.
He's like, oh fuck. So yeah, he makes it work. And so then there's a big monster that shows up.
Yeah.
And it calls out Captain Marvel specifically, saying that he's Mr. Mind and it wants to like remove all of human civilization so that the creatures can thrive and rejoice. But Shazam's like not able to hurt it. And then Dr. Savannah is like, damn, I need to like study this creature so I can sell its weapons.
Yeah. It's a very Jeff Smith looking design.
I was about to say it's definitely those monsters from Bone, but as like a big alien mech.
Because no mouth.
It's just gray thing with big red eyes. But this one's a little taller, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But I saw it, and I think he's really good at scale because that thing definitely looks fucking ginormous.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that's pretty cool.
And then when he flies up closer to him,
it's like, yeah, he's as like his eyes are bigger than Captain Marvel entirely. So then Billy's sister, Mary, was hanging out with a talking tiger that I guess is actually Billy's homeless friend, Taki, who is an Ifrit. Have you heard of that before?
I read that. I'm like, what the fuck is that? So
yeah, I looked it up. It's like a demon pretty much. But I think in the context of this book, I guess that he's a tiger initially, and he was turned into a human, or he can turn into a human so he can walk around New York. Or wherever this is.
Yeah, I was like, you'd think it'd be like a human who turned into a tiger.
But but no, it's like, which I love, by the way. I think that's really funny. It's also crazy that, actually, it's not that crazy, but if a tiger turns into a human, he would definitely be homeless. He's like, how do I do this?
Yeah.
Like, what do you
don't have any skills.
Like, what is money? Yeah, you don't have any skills. So, another big monster shows up, which is like the second of 3 in total.
Yeah.
And then Billy turned into Shazam, but then accidentally almost kills Mary with the lightning, but instead it gives her powers.
Yeah, she was like a little bit too close.
And like got blasted and fucking thrown into a car. And I'm like, she's definitely dead. You just killed your sister.
You just got her a couple pages ago.
And then like, yeah. And he's like, no, like when it happens, she fucking destroys this car.
Yeah.
It looks like it went into like a trash compactor. That's how hard she like slammed into it.
I kind of like how she didn't turn into like an adult, some other, being that she's like a host of. She just has sort of Shazam powers, but as like a little girl.
Which I'm very confused by.
Me too, but I didn't think about it that hard.
I don't think about it that hard either.
She gets her own shoulder cape.
But that is sick.
But like to her, Marvel, it's like her whole back.
Mary Marvel is like a character.
Yeah, that's like an adult. I think
normally. Well, actually, now that I think about it, in the newest like champion of Shazam with Mary Marvel in it,
the Doc Shaner one.
Yeah, the Dr. Shaner one. When she uses the power of Shazam, she doesn't change to a different person at all, or like age up. No, because she's in college. So I don't know, like and then like Kingdom Come,
he's like old and Shazam's into a young guy. So it's always like
what
Disney.
I think he just stays like
he's like the same age.
He's already like there.
Yeah.
So when he Shazams, he just like gets the suit. I don't know.
But then like later he'll be like Golden Gale and will be like this old woman turning into a young person.
Yeah. And then there's like something later that happens that I'll bring up. But yeah, the whole how everything works is very I don't know, not consistent, which is fine because it's like magic. But
at the end of Shazam movie, when all of his like adopted brothers and sisters like all get Shazam powers, I'm like, this seems like a bit much. Like in the first movie.
Yeah, because there's like 7 or 8 of them that turn into
I'm like
Shazams.
I'm like, we got one of these people, I don't like 5 more doesn't help me, I get it with like to line up with the the sins, but I think it seemed like a sequel thing, right?
It does,
because like there's nothing really to look forward to in the second one.
I agree with that.
Yeah, because if 100%. I was like, oh shit, there's fucking Mary Marvel in this one and the rest of them,
I'm like, oh great.
They're so sick.
It'd be like Spider-Verse, but Shazam.
Yeah.
Which everybody's asking for.
Shazamiverse.
But yeah, now it's like, I don't really know what to look forward to with this movie. I'm not like super excited for it.
Maybe Mr. Mind shows up.
I would love that.
That'd be cool.
He showed up in the end of the last one.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he was a caterpillar.
They laid the seeds down, or what's the term?
Planted
the seeds.
They laid the seeds down.
They laid the seeds.
Okay, and then like Mary's like, oh fuck yeah, let's go destroy these like weird monster things. I like how Captain Marvel tries to get help from like the tiger, and he's like, what do I do? And he's like, what do you want me to do? I can't fly. Like, go get her.
I'm a fucking tiger. Like,
yeah. Like it's pretty cool, but I'm useless in this situation in particular.
My power is turning into someone weaker than you. Like,
yeah. So that was chapter 2.
Chapter 3.
So Mary instantly discovers that the creatures are actually big robot vessels, and then like the military like chases them off and they go back to Billy's place. I feel like Captain Marvel would have been able to be like, this feels like metal that I'm trying to punch, when he initially had the confrontation with them.
Probably.
And also they kind of look metallic because they have weird metallic looking things on their chest.
They also look like a little furry, though.
They do look furry, so I give them that. But yeah, she's like, this is a robot, stupid. So it's like, there got to be something in there.
Yeah.
But they go to Billy's place, and then they're captured, and then they get their mouths taped by Savannah's men, so they can't Shazam.
Mm-hmm.
And then Savannah takes Billy and some of his men to the giants, and then Savannah's men are turned into creatures by like a ray that comes from those big machines.
Yeah.
And I feel like they sneak on site very easily because it's like barricaded off and there's supposed to be like a bunch of cops there and shit.
Yeah.
But they just like sneak on.
You think they'd be a little bit more security?
You think there'd be more like cameras on them at all times?
Like I couldn't sneak into like an outdoor concert if I wanted to.
I've always fantasized about trying though.
Really?
I'm like, I could just hop this fence.
I've seen people do it. I'm like, wow, good for them. They did it.
I know. But I would feel like the biggest like criminal.
Yeah.
In the moment while doing
They're going to catch me.
It's not a big, even though it's not a big deal, they probably just throw me out.
I don't have a wristband.
But I'd be like, I can't risk my whole life on this.
Yeah.
I'm going to get thrown in the slammer.
But they're able to go into up the perimeter that is made around extraterrestrials as far as they're concerned, you know?
Yeah.
I guess they are aliens.
I mean, it would be so easy to sneak into like, well, I guess with something like this, you got to just like throw something together real quick because it's like, there's a big monster now. We got to put up like barricades and shit. So there's probably like a lot of holes in what's happening.
They put up
much
the Ostrich
like
Festival in like a day.
I know, but like, yeah, much like festivals or concerts, it's like, you just got to like throw all that shit together and like somehow make it work. And they're always behind schedule, probably like the coordinators of everything.
Yeah.
And so there's definitely some holes that you could exploit.
Sure.
So anyway, his men get turned into like monsters and then they start to turn on Savannah. So he tries to like get rid of Billy's thing. It doesn't work. He manages to get him off himself, turns into Shazam. And then the monsters in Savannah disappear after some tear gas is thrown. So now Billy has to find his sister and Savannah. And so he goes to Tiger Dude and he's like, what do we do? I don't know what to do. And then they come up with a brilliant idea to be like, let's go to the media and we'll expose this very powerful man in the government and then it'll be over for him.
I like how like they couldn't just like tweet about it, you know?
They couldn't.
They're homeless.
It's they're that's a big factor.
Don't have Twitter.
But it's very innocent that like their plan is like, let's take down one of the strongest people in the government by using the media.
Yeah.
Which is like definitely not how things would happen now if this whole story was to be rewritten. Even though it's a kid's book, but like they're just like, okay. But these are simpler times.
They're trying to give kids hope that they can make a difference.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, 100%. And then they find Taki finds the entrance to the big robots, and that's pretty much the chapter.
Couple things.
What's up?
Taki can turn into a cat as well,
Which is sick.
with a little hat.
He doesn't have a little hat. What are you talking about?
This panel.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
He must have lost the hat when he got to where he was going, though.
Yeah, no, he lost his scarf. So when they go to the news,
He's like, take this thing.
hold on. What do
Sure.
you mean? Who?
The like head news guy.
Yeah. But before they get to him, Billy sees like a newscaster that they saw in public or whatever. And she's like, go away, you're a kid or whatever. And then he turns into Shazam,
Walks in.
walks in, and then she's like interested, you know? And then
She gives him the up down.
she's like, can I help you? Looks at his dick and then looks straight up.
Okay.
So, and then she's like, I can see why they call you Captain Marvel. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean?
I think what it was supposed to be was an up down. Like, wow,
Dude,
this guy's very strong.
If you look at
but
her
projecting the path of her eyes and where they're looking, dick.
and I've seen he's got a pretty impressive bulge here. It's one that I strive for.
Oh, like when he's walking in.
Just in general. When he's walking in, it's not that impressive, but there are some good shots.
Yeah, he thinks about that when he draws this.
This is a child that she's coming on to.
Yeah, I thought that part was funny too. But yeah, so he goes to like big head of the media guy, and he's like, if you're being for real, take this device. It's like
It records everything.
it records on a screen and you can like live stream it. And they're like, holy shit, this is big tech right here. Which I think is funny because this is just a phone. This is like what an iPhone would do now. Just like take this, go onto Facebook Live,
right.
record whatever. And
So Billy was trying to get to that guy, right? Like the boss or whatever.
yeah.
And he's like, I have a story that I need to give to Mr. Whatever. And then she's like, you're my story. You can give it to me. I'm like, what do you mean you can give it to me?
Yeah.
Then my favorite part of this book is in this issue
Okay.
where we see Taki as his cat form, and Jeff Smith makes the decision to give him a little butthole.
Oh my God. I didn't even notice that.
I couldn't stop looking at it.
Holy shit. Why is it colored that way?
Because that's what buttholes look like.
Oh my God. That's crazy. It's funny because most of this cat is just like a silhouette.
Yeah.
And so
They're like, don't forget the butthole though.
No, yeah, you're totally right. It like brings all the attention.
The fact that wasn't just staring at you when you're reading this is crazy to me.
I was like, okay, yeah, he gets shot by like some people. And
have you seen like the tiger Lego? Where when you build like a whole ass tiger and they give you a little pink piece to put on his asshole.
That's awesome.
I want it just for that.
Yeah.
I don't know how much
like a
it
little
is.
pink stud.
Yeah.
That's like 5,000 credits in the Lego Star Wars game.
Yeah. It's like the most valuable piece in the Lego marketplace.
It sounds like the shiniest in like the Lego Star Wars game.
Yeah.
He's really good at drawing tigers, by the way.
He's good at drawing buttholes.
And that. But like these tigers are pretty
cool
insane. He does like a book now that's like set in Africa. And after reading this, I was like, that makes sense. Like I would read a book where he's just drawing a bunch of animals.
I think he came out with some other graphic novel a couple years ago that I remember Drew telling me about. But
yeah, it was like last year. It came out with like a Kickstarter funded one that's like set in Africa.
Really interesting. Yeah. You think like giving Jeff Smith money to write a book would just be like a no brainer? You know?
Yeah,
this guy's like a legend. You know?
Well, I think he kickstarted it just so that because he knew he would make money. You know?
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you got a name like that,
and then he could keep the IP.
Yeah.
Chapter 4. Oh, I haven't been saying that.
Look at this bulge.
That is a bulge for sure.
Yeah.
I haven't been saying the chapters, but I've decoded all of them, so I'm going to say them because it took me at least a minute for each one.
Dude, there's a fucking cheat code in the back matter.
Oh, fuck. Are you serious?
Yeah.
No way. Oh, that sucks. Oh, wait. No, I think I have a different version than you then because I didn't have much back matter.
Oh, okay.
But
I got the new version, like the re-released one with a new DC logo.
On the fucking stupid Amazon site when I was trying to buy it, like wouldn't let me get the super deluxe one. It only gave me the normal collected version, which has like 1 page of back matter. Even though I tried to find the other one, when I would click on it and it had the picture of the one that's supposed to be the super deluxe one, it would just switch over to like this one. So I was forced to buy this.
I fucking hate Comixology.
But chapter 2, it's called Mary Takes the Cake. That's when Mary's involved. Chapter 3, Savannah Comes On Strong, which is kind of crazy that it's called that because the actor that plays him later, Mark Strong.
When did this come out?
This came out many a year ago.
Like before?
Easily.
I can see that.
Yeah. And then chapter 4, Mr. Mind makes his move, which is a sick title with all the alliteration. So Shazam makes his way into the robot and he's like, damn, I can't make it through this tiny shaft. So I have to be Billy. And then the tiger's like, no, don't do that because we're like in a magic thing right now. And if you do a magic, everything's going to explode. And he's like, oh shit, you're right. And so he goes out, turns into Billy, goes back in, gets cut off from the tiger. And he's like, damn it, I'm alone and I can't turn into Shazam. Which is really cool because I think that raises the stakes a little bit, knowing that he can't just turn into Shazam and he's just like this kid inside of this big robot. I think that's good writing. Mm-hmm. There's like a bunch of screens in the shaft. And as he's like trying to climb to the top, Mr. Mind talks to him. And then he shows Savannah carrying Mary all tied up and shit. Also inside the robot.
It's something weird is that all the bugs in the city like went into the robots.
Yeah, it's a very weird detail.
It kind of makes sense because like the Monster Society is trying to like
get rid of
the world of humans.
And humans probably kill the most insects.
Right. And so I don't know if they're going to nuke the place or whatever, but the bugs will be safe.
Yeah. If anything.
And some of them like talk.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're doing like roach talk or whatever.
It's funny because all the bugs from the city try to stop Billy by like suffocating him, by like burying him with all the insects. Mm-hmm. But there's like 2 roaches that are like, nah, this guy's chill. Trust me.
Yeah, he saved us.
Yeah. He like didn't step on me. And so I think he's chill.
Yeah.
And so they're like, all right, fine. And then a third, and then like the biggest robot shows up. And then Billy gets to the top of the robot and he starts to control one to try and save Mary because they're also on top of the second robot. But then Savannah just throws Mary off. So Billy only has the opportunity to Shazam and just risk everything exploding. Mm-hmm. and he turns the whole robot into a huge Captain Marvel and catches her.
Oh, he turns the robot into Captain Marvel?
Yeah, which
I thought he just got big.
I thought he just got big as well, but then I realized that there's only 2 robots there now as they start fighting.
Okay.
And so it was so out of pocket for him to just like throw off a child.
Yeah.
And it was like really funny when he like when he actually throws her in the panel, she seems like so stiff. And so it's just, like that panel just looks funny to me.
It's like that fucking meme of like The Simpsons where like that one character's just thrown through the window.
Yeah, that's what it seems. Yeah. And it feels like there's so much time that happens between her getting thrown off and then like her being catched, because there's like 6 panels of plot and like talking and shit that's happening.
Yeah.
Which was funny to me.
Something I noticed is that Mr. Mind is in some sort of like, when he's on the screens, he's in some sort of like, I don't know, projector room or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I thought it was just funny that he had like this like headset on as if he's in like a party with his boys.
Or like he's just like tech support.
Yeah.
That does look like the old Xbox headset, doesn't it?
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, that's funny. Those like lasted so long, but then like once it broke and you try to like make it work, you could still get like a week out of it.
You ever like get the headset like the head part like snapped off and you just do like a whole
100%
shoulder thing,
or like the little foamy thing at the end falls off, and so you're like, it still works.
You ever take the foamy thing off and try and put it around your ear?
What are you talking about?
Just me? Okay, never mind. Because it's the part that covers like the
why would you put it around your ear
to see if it fits, Nathan?
We have big ears. I've never tried that.
Missing out.
Yeah, I guess so.
Can't go back.
So he's big Captain Marvel now, and he punches the other 2 robots so hard that it creates a black hole, and it sucks in the 2 robots and Shazam. But Billy and Sivana are left behind, suspended in the air, but then like a bunch of bugs catch them at the ground. So like this is what the thing, it's like, okay, I have a couple pages to wrap everything up. What if he punches so hard that he creates like a fucking black hole and only takes the magic things, right?
What if we solve it in like one fucking panel?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's like, this is the big battle, one punch. And then he's like, okay.
So Shazam is basically One Punch Man?
Pretty much. Except he can create black holes, which I feel like is better than One Punch Man. Saitama could never.
Yeah.
And so...
Shazam solos.
But then... Big Shazam.
Big Shazam solos.
But then he's like, okay, Sivana's still in the robot. I need him to like stay out of the robot, but then it doesn't make sense for him to just be on the ground. So he has to be in the air. But then he's like, what if the bugs all catch him? You know? And so like that's how he resolves that part of the plot.
But
and then,
also like Mary can also still turn into Shazam.
So like, why not have her just fly in and catch him?
Yeah.
You know, that would make sense.
But no, she comes in when Savannah pulls a gun out on this child.
Which is so funny.
Because he's strapped. And
he's like, dude, there's no fucking way you just ruined this for me. I'm going to shoot you in the face now.
He's about to pop this toddler right now. And, but no, Mary comes in and stops the bullet or whatever.
And then there's another plot point where it's like, fuck, I can't turn into Shazam. And so he's like, Mary, say Shazam while I'm like touching you, and then I'll just turn into Shazam again.
Yeah.
And so there's like
there's no consequences.
No consequence. It's just like, oh shit, it worked.
Yeah.
They got you, was fine. You know, like,
why not just hold hands with everybody you know, and then they all become a Shazam, you know?
Because I think...
Are they kind of feeding off of one power?
They haven't like stated this, but I think it's the Shazam power only goes people that you're like related to, because they're like sisters in this book, at least.
Billy's her sister.
Apparently, yeah. Well, yeah.
Okay.
Not like adopted sister,
like biological.
Like biological, I think. Right. So
there's a thing that they brought up earlier where when she gets her powers at first, she was just like really fast.
Yeah.
But like wasn't like strong or anything. You know, so when like some copters came and like started shooting at them, she's like, let's see if I'm bulletproof, which is a bad idea.
Yeah, she's so excited to see.
And so she's like risking it by saving him. She's like, oh, I am bulletproof.
Which is nice.
Yeah, which is a fun way for that to wrap up.
I just think that that's so crazy to be like so excited to find out if you're bulletproof.
Yeah.
You could just die.
Absolutely.
If it doesn't work in your favor, like you're pretty sure, but like you can't like be positive unless you get shot, you know, which could
and it'd
kill
probably
you.
go through her and hit him.
Yeah.
You know?
And then he's bulletproof, so it bounces off of him again and goes through her twice.
He's not bulletproof here. He's a child.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah. And then it goes through him and hits the tiger.
Imagine he like collaterals them because she's not actually bulletproof, and then the book ends.
What do you mean collaterals him?
Like one bullet kills both of them because Mary Marvel's not actually bulletproof.
Yeah.
So he's like, oh, well, that was easy. But no, everything's fine.
That would have been a fucking twist for a Jeff
That would
Smith
have been
book.
insane. This would be the new Watchmen.
Yeah, I know. No
But-
happy ending.
But Savannah, he's like, oh man, I still want revenge, but everything else is all good from there. They get hired at the media or something. I don't understand it, but
They're like, just keep your fucking camera thing and
keep
we'll
your
pay you.
keep your live streaming device, and we'll pay you, and you'll have a home now.
Yeah,
and
it's
that's the end. So let's get into back matter matters.
Oh, and then there's another code, and it was like
The end?
The end?
Because
Question mark?
Savannah's still angry. I don't think he
And-
ever got a sequel.
Yes, it was the end because there's not more,
Yeah,
unless he named it something else.
I don't think so.
Okay. Back matter matters. So did you get an afterword by Jeff Smith?
So yeah, I got like a creator bio thing about Jeff Smith.
Oh, that's the end. Okay.
Yeah. So that's the only thing I have. And it just says like in 1991, Jeff Smith launched a company called Cartoon Books to publish his comic Bone. He'd like self-publish that shit.
That's
To begin
fucking baller.
And I think it was black and white at first because later it would get picked up and printed with color.
That could work in black and white
Yeah, I think
because
so.
it's like white characters, you know?
Yeah, but I do like it with color. I think it's one of the rare occasions where a black and white book gets color and it feels like it's better. But maybe that's how I was originally.
Surely The Walking Dead is better with color.
I don't know.
Because like
Well, I mean,
there's
they're
so many
publishing it with
characters
color.
that look the same.
That's true.
You know, so that like can differentiate them. Just give them a different color shirt.
Yeah.
You know?
But I can't imagine like Sin City's better with color, like full color,
Fair.
or like Stray Bullets, because he's such a good black and white. Those are both like very
the
elite.
slice of life stuff just kind of works really well in black and white, you know? So I agree.
Okay.
But no, I got these process pages.
Holy shit.
You know, with we got a sketchbook.
Whoa.
I'll like mention what's there, and then you can flip through it if you want. So it's like a lot of really rough sketches. Like this was like in a notepad
Is
or
he
something.
clean with it?
He is pretty clean with it.
Nice. It seems like he would be.
And then he's got like inspirations for different things that were in the books.
Oh, neat.
So I
From
think
like original Captain Marvel books?
yeah, so I think he's adapting some stuff from older books.
Yeah. He definitely was.
Shazam Production Journal.
I did not get stuff. I got like one thing. So, dude, he's so good. Oh, one part I do like about the Shazam outfit is like he's got a little button thing like on the shoulder.
Oh yeah, it's essential.
Yeah, that shit's tight. I don't even know what it is. What happens if you unbutton it?
You think it's kind of like the Mr. Miracle button with his cape?
No, because it's not attached to the cape. But it seems like there's like a flap and it like gets buttoned there.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what happens when you unbutton that. It like just shows your tit.
Cape comes off.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Even like his sketches that clearly only took him like a couple seconds are very
Super
clean and like show a lot.
Like it's just like not that rough. You
No.
know, just off the bat.
He's just very good at sketching something out real quick. Does he go to conventions?
I'm sure he has, but maybe just like big ones.
If I went to a convention, I would get like a Captain Marvel bun. Like I wouldn't even get a bone, I don't think. I think it'd just be cool
Oh,
to
yeah,
have this
definitely
thing that like this is from a guy that like no one knows he did this thing, you know? Or at least it feels like it to me.
You know, Bone, same guy.
Yeah.
But Nathan, what would you rate this comic?
I didn't like 100% love it just because the end felt like it was just like, all right, let's wrap up everything up right now.
Yeah.
And so that's the only, like really the only criticism I feel for it.
It probably would have benefited from like an extra issue.
Yeah. Or even just like an extra 10 pages or something, I think.
Yeah.
Or if you just paste some of the stuff out in the middle better. I don't know. Now I'd just say, I guess love it from Cold Stone, which with like a mint and chip, because like I love mint and chip. And this is definitely like what I was looking for and what I was expecting. Mm-hmm. But then like at the end, like I just found like a gummy bear in there for some reason. And it's like it's like a little rocky, you know?
You're like, what the shit?
You're like, what the hell? And then I eat it anyway because it's like in there.
Yeah, you're not gonna spit it out.
But then it's like, it's like kind of hard to chew. That's what I would do.
Okay.
I still enjoy it overall. Very good experience. We'll still go back for any mint and chip, or I guess Jeff Smith stuff.
Smith and Chip.
Yeah, Smith and chip. So yeah. What about you? What'd you rate it?
So my like favorite ice cream as a kid was like rainbow sherbet, right? And go to Water and Ice, you can get multiple scoops on that like cylinder scoop that they give you. Like they like fucking jam it in there,
barely on top of the cone,
twist a bit, and then pull it out.
Yeah, barely on top of the cone.
Yeah, very sketchy when you get two.
It's like ice cream if it was Jenga. That's what it feels like because it could fall over at any second.
And so reading this, it felt a lot like Bone. I don't know if it was like the vibes or maybe just the artwork, but it kind of took me back to that place in the Scholastic days.
Okay.
And so
I like this comparison.
I think like a throwback, single scoop, water and ice. I think they serve Thrifty ice cream. So Thrifty single scoop rainbow sherbet is my go-to.
That's pretty good.
So equivalent to like a Love It.
Actually, I changed my answer. I was trying to think of something that would like be electricity based or something, and I'm like, what does that even mean?
Eating.
It is a Red Bull.
Electric eel. Oh yeah,
because I enjoy Red Bull, but it's like the 16-ounce one. I think whatever, like not the smallest one, but like the next one up. It's not like Mac Daddy.
Like 8.
No, next one up from that. I think it's 12.
Oh yeah,
I would rate it a 12.5 or whatever that fluid ounce.
Remember when they had like just those big ones that are basically like tall boys? I'm like, who buys this?
You would die.
And it was like $14.
I think if I rated a book that, it would be like too much of a book, and I actually don't like it that much. You know?
And it's actually bad for your health.
Yeah. That's like what Watchmen would
it's
be
not
rated.
doctor recommended.
Yeah. So that's what I would rate this book.
Okay.
It gives me the energy because I'm excited for it, and it tastes good.
And secretly you want it, but you know you should not.
No, I know I should want this.
Okay.
Anyway, let's get into the poll list.
Shove it in your box. The poll list. What did you shove in your box?
Daniel, not a big week, but a good week.
Okay.
I picked up Human Target number 12.
Yep, the final issue.
Very excited. That cover's sick, by the way. I mean, all of them have been incredible, but this one's like, damn.
Yeah.
And then I picked up 2 new number 1s this week.
Is one of them Phantom Road number 1?
One of them's Phantom Road by Jeff Lemire and Gabriel Walta and Jordi Belair.
Nice.
Which is a stacked team.
And what's the other one?
And I'm trying not to pick up that many number 1s.
But
I picked up Spider-Man Unforgiven by Tim Seeley. It's supposed to be a Spider-Man horror-esque book.
I thought it was like Irredeemable White Man, kind of.
No. Spider-Man, but he's dirty.
Yeah.
He's a peeping Tom.
But he's a dick, yeah.
No, it's like supposed to be kind of horror-y. And I was like, that's interesting because I don't think I've ever seen Spider-Man that much in that situation where like the whole book is supposed to feel like that, you know?
I feel like Kraven's Last Hunt is probably horror-y in a way.
I don't know.
Like,
we should read it.
Really dark. Maybe.
So that's all I picked up though.
If Kraven the Hunter comes out this year, we are going to read that.
Oh, yeah, I guess it will, huh?
Because I think it's supposed to.
I think it's in post-production.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
but
we haven't seen anything.
I did actually end up reading Phantom Road.
Yeah? How is it?
I was very excited for it. And it's pretty amazing. I don't really know what's happening right now.
What can you describe it as?
I mean, like, so there's like these demon or like zombie looking kind of feeling things. They're clearly not like zombies, but they're not demons. But like, we don't really know what they are yet. I don't know. But aren't they like...
They're like demon zombies. They're like...
I don't know what to describe them, but it's kind of like an apocalypse thing. And it's like these 2 unlikely characters to meet up and like all of a sudden they have to survive together now. Mm-hmm. But there's clearly like a thing about these creatures. And there's something going on with like a mysterious artifact. And so it's just like a very quick read, very straightforward and to the point. And like the main character is like a trucker and they're like trying to survive in this big 18-wheeler truck. And I think that's pretty cool. And he's got like a crowbar and shit and is like his first aid. So he can like use that.
You think it'll be like a road trip book?
Yeah. I feel like it'll turn into like a buddy road trip book, but like in the apocalypse.
So it's kind of like Kiss Zombies.
In a way.
Except they're not in the Kiss tour van.
Except less rock and roll. Yeah.
Damn. And less amazing.
I don't know. But damn, I love Walta. I think he's so good and like untraditional. Mm-hmm. And like I can't quite put my finger on it, but it like feels like just like brilliant in some way.
Yeah. I like how does it seem like he's sticking to his style?
Yeah, 100%.
There's like value in that.
Yeah.
Rather than trying to be what you think you should be.
Yeah.
Just like draw how you draw and then do it well. You know?
He's a really good like character actor. as well.
Yeah.
Like with faces and stuff. And when things get really intense, he's really good at that. Or you can tell when people are surprised and you don't need to like have additional dialogue with this. But I will say of like Jeff Lemire stuff, this is like the fastest read.
That's pretty fucking fast.
Which is, yeah.
Because he's normally pretty fast. But it comes
normally
to
he's pretty fast,
stuff.
but like this one, I felt like I was reading like 3 or 4 pages and then I hit the staple.
That's how manga feels.
Yeah. But like I was like in the middle of the book and I was like, didn't I just start this? And I'm already halfway through. So, but it's pretty cool. Jordan Blair's also kick ass. So.
Do you do anything else?
No, just that. That's all I had time for.
So yeah, Human Target, Phantom Road. I will look at the Lila Star and Doom Patrol Deluxe, but I probably won't buy them this week because I haven't been in a few weeks. But they're in a like wish list.
I almost picked up Rogue and Gambit because I just like that.
Is that a book?
Yeah.
Is it new?
Yeah.
Oh.
Number 1 just came out, and I was like, "Oh, I really want to read this."
Who's it by? Do you know?
Stephanie Phillips.
Oh,
yeah.
If I was you, I would have gotten it.
I was like, I'm really trying not to get number 1, and then I picked up 2 number 1s. So
I read, in honor of Human Target number 12 coming out, I read Human Target number 4.
Nice.
Because that's where I'm at.
Really? Wow, that's so far. So what happened? Wait, let me try to remember. Was it the guy? Was it about Guy Gardner?
No, that's like 3.
Was it? Okay.
Or maybe that's like 2.
Okay, so who did he talk to this time?
Ted Cord.
Gotcha.
And the one before that was Booster, and then Booster leads him to Ted Cord.
Yeah, and like Booster Gold has like a bagel company, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's pretty funny.
I can't remember. There's some shtick to it that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
It was like there was just bagels from the future or something. I don't know. And I read a book called Spencer and Locke. Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah, that sounds so familiar.
Yeah, it's like a very small publisher book. It's about this detective and his partner who is a panther, and his panther partner isn't actually real. It's just this like stuffed animal that he carries around, and so he goes around and solves crimes. And it's a short one. I think it's 4 or 5 issues.
Apparently, there's an actress named Spencer Locke, and that really threw me for a loop when I hit the images.
No, Spencer and Locke, and yeah, it's really cool. The colors are really sweet. The artwork's kind of like scratchy in a way, but it's still like really good.
If you showed me just like the cover of this, I would have thought that this was like
Black Sad.
Black Sad, yeah.
Yeah. So I also have Black Sad downloaded, and so but I'm like I should probably read this one first because I think Black Sad would be better. Probably. So I want to like kind of build up to that.
So what you're saying is you're in your furry stage right now.
I'm in a furry stage right now, and it was. I don't know. They both just sounded really good because I think they're both detective things featuring feline characters.
Yeah,
so
they are.
And so that one was really cool. There was a lot in that little trade, and I think there's only 2 trades total, which seems like it would just go on for a little bit longer than that.
Yeah.
But it was good stuff. It's kind of something that I was like, oh, we should read this on the show. I'm like, you know what? I can just read it.
And and just enjoy it.
And
enjoy something else.
And just live my life.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago I started Eat the Rich.
Oh yeah? Yeah. Is that something that you bought and you were just sitting on, or did you read it at first?
I saw the number 1 and I was like, I really like that title.
Oh,
and
yeah,
I really
came
liked
back to it.
The cover. And then I just bought the trade, or it was on Comixology or something.
Tradewaiter.
And then I haven't like finished first issue, but it's like in progress. So
for sure. I also read this book called Gigant, which is an anime. It's not an anime. It's a manga. It features this film student who finds out his favorite adult film actress lives in his neighborhood, and she watches this like crazy homeless guy get hit by a car, and she goes to like help him, and he slaps this like dial looking thing onto her wrist, and she finds out that it makes her grow like really big, like giant man. Gigant is like a word mean just giant or whatever, in like Greek or something.
This is a comic or like a manga?
It's a manga.
Oh, okay.
And I read 5 volumes of this.
Oh shit.
Yeah. It flows super well. It's not dense at all. So I started slowing down around like the 5th one, but I'm like, it's just something that I read on like my phone, like right before bed or like on my break, which is apparently a lot of time because I got really far in this. And so there's this, and there's also this like polling website where people can vote for things that they want to happen, and the highest voted thing like happens.
Oh, wow.
And they vote for like a god of destruction to lower the population of Tokyo to like 1 million people.
That's very specific.
Very specific, and it's a pretty freaky monster too. And so
that's kind of fun, I guess.
Yeah, she like gets big and fights the monster. The thing is that I think the hook is like her clothes rip off when she gets big.
That's definitely the hook. That's why so many people have read it.
Like, yeah.
Is that why you're 5 volumes deep, Daniel?
Maybe. And even like the government tries to make her like a stretchy material for when she gets big, but she just rips right through it. Like she gets big and it works for a minute, but then
they're like, fuck, back to the drawing board.
But it's like no more like nudity than like Sunstone, you know?
Okay.
Which is still quite a bit, but you know.
Yeah, but it wasn't in Sunstone. It felt like there should have been more almost.
Right.
For what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I see what you mean by that.
And then it turns out that like the homeless guy that was hit by a car was like from like the future, and that's like starting to unravel, which is the
was that a thing that was voted on?
No. That wasn't voted on. And the thing is that she's stopping the things that people vote on. Like she can't stop like earthquakes and stuff, but when there's monsters, she's like there.
So they're voting on a thing to happen, and she has to resolve that thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a weird commandy challenge, it feels like.
Sure. It doesn't feel like that, like a different issue. It's a different monster kind of thing. Like her like relationship with like the film student and whatnot, like kind of plays out, and that's kind of the most interesting part. But yeah, I'm into that. It's not very long, like manga wise. It's only like 10 volumes, which is about like 90 chapters.
Right.
Just like, I guess it's as long as like the first part of like Chainsaw Man, which felt longer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I feel like I read like a volume in like 10 minutes. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the addictive nature of manga. You just kind of, so many checkpoints so fast.
It's like TikTok for comics.
Kind of. Yeah. more Japanese things just invading my life.
Yep.
And I watched The Last of Us, Nathan.
Yeah, so did I.
You're all caught up now?
I'm all caught up.
This was a pretty good episode.
Yeah.
I didn't really notice at first where it was going. And then once it did, I'm like, oh no, you know?
What do you mean by that?
So
spoilers, by the way.
you watched the mall episode, yeah?
Yeah.
So like once I found out that there was like one of them in there in the mall.
Infected.
And then it makes it kind of obvious that she got bit. I was like, oh no, her friend's going to try and shoot her or something. But then her friend also got bit. I'm like, oh no, this is worse.
It's a bad scenario.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
It took way too long for that thing to get to them.
Yeah, with how much noise they're making and they're screaming at Mortal Kombat and stuff like that, you'd think it'd just be like in the background.
Those things need to come at like awkward times, you know? It feels like they end a conversation and then it comes, you know?
As soon as they saw it, or as soon as they like let the viewers see it, I was just looking in the background the entire time.
Yeah, like it's gonna pop out.
I thought it was gonna like they're gonna be on the carousel, and as they turn, it's gonna be like walking towards them, but they don't notice it. But then like keeps turning, you know?
Very Zombieland.
Yeah, I would like shit my pants. I'd be like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was pretty nice. It seems like they're not keeping to the main story a whole lot.
There's a lot of those like
here's
tie-in
some
episodes.
Here's some context, and I feel like this one makes sense because it's like,
because surely you have to know where she got that bite.
Yeah,
you know
the origin of the bite and like when she found out and stuff like that. So yeah, it's all pretty interesting. I feel like I understand the Fireflies and like Fedra and all the organizations a little bit more.
Sure,
just from like that context. But yeah, very nice episode.
Yeah, definitely.
Did you think she was gonna go in for a kiss?
Yeah, I kind of felt obvious. That kind of tension there. Yo, they were like dancing on like this like glass case.
I was like,
like, that needs to shatter right now.
That'll break. Yeah.
And then they start jumping on it. I'm like, what's happening? What kind of fucking glass is this?
It's like bulletproof.
Yeah. And then she's able to knock it out with just like a hammer or the fucking bat that she had.
Yeah. Crazy.
I'm like, this is definitely reinforced.
That whole fight though with the infected thing was like, oh man, this is
They've definitely never been in this situation.
Yeah, this is a whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good episode, I think.
Yeah. How long is it? Is it 9 episodes?
I think you told me it was supposed to be 10 episodes.
You know, I'm not always right.
I'll look it up right now.
As much as I like to think I am. I think I heard 9 somewhere, and now I'm second guessing myself.
9.
Fuck. So what? There's 3 more?
So that was episode 7, I want to say.
Oh, fuck.
So there's
2 more.
He's getting stitched up. Did you think he was dead after the end of the last one?
No, I'm like, surely not.
Yeah. I was like, they're really good at making me want to cry. And so I feel like they would have made me want to cry.
Yeah, they would play this out.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So I was
I'm
like,
like,
nah,
that's not like it could be fatal wound, but I'm like, I don't think that's what would take him out.
Yeah.
Just accidentally being stabbed or whatever.
At the end of this episode, though, when he was like stitching it up, I was like, I hate like any.
Oh, so gross.
I hate any stitching scene.
Yeah, that one was bad.
Like they're all very good but they just make me cringe inside because it's like, oh, that hurt so bad.
Yeah.
She doesn't give him a towel or anything to bite onto either. He just has to take it. I was like, oh, fuck. Pretty good.
Pretty good.
What should we read next week, Daniel?
What are we gonna read next week? Do you want to read a John Wick comic?
So what is there?
There's one. It's by...
Is it called John Wick?
Yeah.
I think I remember this coming out not so long ago, right?
I think it was like around the first one, but I could be wrong.
Oh, this is written by Greg Pak?
Yeah, it's written by Greg Pak. And who's that other guy? Giovanni Valletta and Matt Gaudio. I don't know. I'm not zoomed in, but that's something we can read. I think it could be fun, but if you don't want to read that, that's totally fine.
Let me see the reviews.
I don't know if it's like a prequel or like an in-between cool or a during cool.
I think we could do it. It's something different, you know. It's a Dynamite book.
Gotta support Dynamite. You know?
Also,
who knows how they make things work?
John Wick's pretty cool. I've watched all of them, so
yeah,
I should know what's going on a little bit.
I don't know why I've seen all of them. You know, I don't know if I would convince someone to go see John Wick. I think they're fun enough.
I think the first one's really good, and I really enjoyed the second one, and then there's a third one, and
I'm like, there's a lot of this.
Yeah, the third one's like, okay, we're still doing all this. Everybody's got coins. You know, everybody's an assassin in New York, pretty much.
Gotta get some coins. Yeah, that's how they do it.
So, yeah, let's do that. I'm cool with that. Cool. John Wick next week.
John Wick, I guess.
Thanks everybody for listening.
And we got the link in the bios. Check it out. Like, follow, subscribe.
Yep.
Go watch on YouTube. Send us an email at tradewaiterspod@gmail.com. Tell us what to read because we're running out of ideas apparently.
Well, we're just doing random stuff. We got ideas.
Yeah.
But if you got a big idea and you're like, damn, they got to read this.
Tell us a real good one.
Yeah. Let us know.
Alrighty. Thank you.
Peace.